23 million people watched their final episode in 2014, and then cried, and then moved on. But what happened to the 5 people on that screen after the cameras stopped rolling is a story that will genuinely shock you. From September 2005 to March 2014, Ted Mosby, Marshall Erikson, Lily Aldrin, Robin Scherbatsky, and the legendary Barney Stinson ruled your television screens for 9 straight years, 208 episodes, 9 seasons, and a fan base that stretched across every corner of the world. But the moment that final episode aired, everything changed for all of them. One battled a life-threatening illness in silence. One walked away from Hollywood completely. One rebuilt their entire life from zero. And one became even bigger than the show itself. So today we are going to explore the real lives of the How I Met Your Mother cast, then, now, and everything in between. And trust me, some of this will leave you speechless. Number 1, Josh Radnor. Let's start with the man who started it all, Josh Radnor, the guy who played hopeless romantic Ted Mosby for 9 straight years, the guy who spent 208 episodes searching for love and somehow made all of us believe in it too. Born on July 29, 1974 in Columbus, Ohio, Josh was never your typical Hollywood star. No flashy lifestyle, no tabloid drama, just pure talent and a quiet determination to do things his own way. And that is exactly what he did after HIMYM ended. While most actors chased the next big blockbuster, Josh went back to the stage, back to theater, back to his roots. He appeared in Broadway's Disgraced. He wrote and directed his own films. He even launched a music career, releasing albums and solo EPs that most people never even knew about. But here is what really surprised everyone. In 2025, Josh launched a podcast called How We Made Your Mother, revisiting every single episode of HIMYM with the show's co-creator. The man who spent years running away from Ted Mosby finally made peace with him. And then in February 2026, at 51 years old, Josh Radnor became a father for the very first time. The man who played TV's greatest romantic finally got his own happy ending. Net worth today? $30 million. But honestly, it looks like he is the richest one of all. Number 2, Jason Segel. Here is a question nobody ever asks. What happens to a man who gives everything to a character and then has to let that character go? Jason Segel. Born January 18, 1980, in Santa Monica, California. Standing 6'4", the man who made Marshall Erikson one of the most lovable characters in television history. On screen, he was the perfect husband, the perfect best friend, the guy who cried at movies and wasn't ashamed of it. But off screen? After HIMYM ended, Jason Segel almost disappeared completely. No big movies, no major TV roles. Just silence, and people started asking, where did he go? What happened to him? Here is what happened. Jason has been very open about this in interviews. He fell into a deep depression after the show ended. 9 years of waking up every morning knowing exactly who you are, and then suddenly, nothing. No character, no routine, no purpose. He described feeling completely lost. Lonely, like a piece of him had been taken away. He stepped away from the spotlight, moved to a quiet small town called Ojai in California, and spent years rebuilding himself from the inside out, learning who Jason Segel actually was, without a script to follow. And then, he came back, harder than ever. In 2023, he launched Shrinking on Apple TV+, a show he didn't just star in, but co-created, a show about a therapist dealing with grief and loss, a subject Jason understood better than most, and the world went crazy for it. Emmy nominated, Golden Globe nominated. Critics couldn't stop talking about him. Season 2 came. Then Season 3 dropped in January 2026, and Jason Segel is now considered one of the most exciting actors on television. Oh, in his personal life? In June 2025, he got engaged to Kayla Radomski. The man who once felt completely lost finally found his way home. Net worth today? $50 million. Marshall Erikson would be so proud. Number 3, Alyson Hannigan. Born on March 24, 1974 in Washington, D.C., Alyson Hannigan was never just a HIMYM actress. Long before she played Lily Aldrin, she was already a household name. Millions knew her as Willow Rosenberg from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Millions more knew her from the American Pie franchise. By the time she walked onto the HIMYM set in 2005, she was already a veteran with over a decade of experience behind her. But here is something most people never talk about. Throughout the entire run of How I Met Your Mother, Alyson was also a mother. She gave birth to her first daughter Satyana in 2009, her second daughter Kiva in 2012. She was pregnant. She was raising babies. She was doing schools. And she was showing up on set every single day, delivering some of the funniest and most heartfelt performances on the show, balancing motherhood and a demanding television career simultaneously, without ever once letting either one suffer. And when the show ended in 2014, she didn't slow down for a single second. She hosted Penn and Teller Fool Us for 7 straight years. She took on voice roles in animated series. She competed on Dancing with the Stars in 2023. And in 2026, she stepped back in front of the camera with a brand new project called Solo Mio. But what truly sets Alyson apart from everyone else on this list has nothing to do with her career. It has everything to do with her personal life. She has been married to actor Alexis Denisov since 2003. 2 daughters, over 2 decades together. In an industry where marriages rarely last 2 years, Alyson Hannigan has built something most people in Hollywood never find: stability, love, and a real home. At 52 years old today, net worth $45 million, Alyson Hannigan is proof that you can have it all, if you are willing to work for it. Number 4. Cobie Smulders. She was born in Vancouver, Canada in 1982, and from the very beginning, she was never someone who followed the expected path. As a young girl, she dreamed of becoming a marine biologist. But life had something completely different planned for her. Cobie Smulders, the woman who brought Robin Scherbatsky to life for 9 straight years. And her real-life story is unlike anyone else on this list, because while she was filming How I Met Your Mother, while she was showing up on set every single day making millions of people laugh, she was secretly fighting for her life. At just 25 years old, right in the middle of the show's early seasons, Cobie was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, multiple surgeries, tumors spreading to her lymph nodes. And she told almost nobody. She kept showing up, kept performing, kept smiling in front of the camera, while carrying something no one in that audience could have ever imagined. She finally went public in 2019, announcing she had been in full remission, and the world stopped, because nobody knew. After HIMYM, she stepped straight into the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Agent Maria Hill. She made her Broadway debut in Present Laughter, and won a Theatre World Award. And then in 2025, her family home in Pacific Palisades was destroyed in the devastating Los Angeles wildfires, a $5.6 million home, gone overnight. And yet, at 43 years old today, she is still standing, still fighting, still showing up. Cobie Smulders is not just an actress. She is a testament to what real strength actually looks like. Number 5. Neil Patrick Harris. If there is one person on this entire list who was destined for stardom from the moment he was born, it is this man, Neil Patrick Harris, born on June 15, 1973 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So by the time he walked onto the HIMYM set as Barney Stinson, he already had decades of experience behind him. And what he did with that character, nobody saw coming. Barney Stinson was supposed to be a side character, a funny background guy, but Neil Patrick Harris turned him into the soul of the entire show. The catchphrases, the suits, the energy, it was all him. But here is the part of Neil's story that made him truly extraordinary. In 2006, right in the middle of How I Met Your Mother's early seasons, Neil Patrick Harris publicly came out as gay. At a time when Hollywood was a very different place, at a time when coming out could end a career overnight, he did it anyway, quietly, confidently, without drama, and the world responded with nothing but love and respect. He never let it define him. He never made it the only thing about him. He simply lived his truth and kept showing up the work. And the industry loved him even more for it. When the show ended in 2014, Neil did not slow down for a single second. He hosted the Tony Awards multiple times. He appeared in Doctor Who. He wrote a best-selling book series called The Magic Misfits. He hosted his own Netflix game show called What's in the Box in 2025. And through all of it, he has been openly living his truth. At 52 years old today, Neil Patrick Harris is proof that legendary is not just a catchphrase. It is a lifestyle. and that is the real story of the How I Met Your Mother cast. 5 people who spent 9 years together on screen, and then went out into the world and wrote chapters nobody expected. Josh Radnor found love and fatherhood at 51. Jason Segel rebuilt himself from scratch and came back stronger than ever. Alyson Hannigan proved that stability and loyalty never go out of style. Cobie Smulders fought cancer in silence and never stopped showing up. Neil Patrick Harris proved that legendary is not just a word, it is a way of life. The show ended in 2014. But their stories? Their stories are still being written. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Because we have a lot more stories like this one coming your way. We will see you in the next one.